During the release of the Galaxy S20, Samsung released a few products that day. One of them was including the Galaxy Buds Plus, which were the successors to the original Galaxy Buds. The Galaxy Buds were pretty much going to be the start of a new product generation. If you remember before that, they had the Gear Icon X, I think the 2018s, maybe those are the Gear Icon X. But either way, Samsung has continued to refine the earbuds sector. Well, at least the earbuds sector from them. Now, fast forward to today, and we have the Galaxy S21, and another product that they released were these. The Galaxy Buds Pro. So what we're going to be taking a look at today is how the Galaxy Buds Plus stacks up to the Galaxy Buds Pro and vice versa pretty much. For the Galaxy Buds Plus, you're looking at a starting price of $149.99, and if you get the BTS version, those will go up to $199.99. For the Galaxy Buds Pro, you're looking at a starting price of $199.99, and I'm pretty sure if they make a specialized version, like a BTS version, you'll probably see those for a more expensive price. Now for your color options, you're going to have a lot more choices with the Buds Plus, and those colors are going to consist of white, the red which you see here, the cosmic black, the cloud blue, and the aura blue. You're also going to have the addition of the BTS version, which is dubbed ultraviolet, and that is just the black and purple color. It also has two icons on the top of the earbuds, but I mean, who's really gonna look at their earbuds? I mean, maybe some people will, who knows? For the Galaxy Buds Pro, you're going to have the Phantom Silver, the Phantom Black, and the Phantom Violet, which is what you see here. So on that point, you do have a lot more color choices with the Galaxy Buds Plus. So taking a look at what you're going to get in the box for both of these, starting with the Galaxy Buds Plus, you're going to get a few ear tips and some wing tips here. So these are the small, you have the medium right here, and then if you notice with the wing tips, these have sort of a fin on here, and that's if you need to keep them in your ear. They sort of go into the upper part of your ear canal. These don't have those fish tips, they just kind of sit in your ear, but I've never used these. I also have the larger ones on my earbuds right now, which is why you're not seeing those there. You're also going to get a quick start guide, and you're going to get a USB Type A to Type C cable and the terms and conditions. I kind of lost the terms and conditions for this one, which is why I have the one for the Galaxy Buds Pro. And speaking of the Galaxy Buds Pro, what you're going to get with those is this little cardboard graphic that holds the terms and conditions and the quick start guide. And the reason I included this is because this actually shows you how to put the Galaxy Buds Pro into your ear, and that's always a plus. You always want to get that tight fit and make sure that you are getting all the sound into your ears, right? You're also going to get a few ear tips here, so you have two small and two medium. You're also going to have a USB Type A to Type C cable, and that is pretty much what you get in the box for both of these. So before I go ahead and continue with this comparison, you may have noticed that I changed the colors on both of these earbuds. And what happened was, since I am a normal human being and I have to pay for these things out of pocket, my return policy was up with the Galaxy Buds Pro Violet color. And I actually wanted to go ahead and try a different color, so I went with the silver here. And I'm actually kind of glad that I did, because I like the design of these. They're actually very, very close to the silver version of the Galaxy Buds, the original Galaxy Buds, the ones that came out along with the Note 10 or came out a little bit after. And the Galaxy Buds Plus that you see here, these are actually my wife's, and she was so gracious and kind enough to actually let me borrow them to continue this review. So now that that's out of the way, let's get on to the specs and features, similarities and differences. As far as the hardware similarities go, both earbuds have a two-way speaker system with a woofer and a tweeter, Bluetooth 5.0 for connectivity. Both can charge via cable and or wireless charging. And both are also canal type earbuds, which means that they will go into your ear canals. So if you're not into that, pretty much you probably want to stay away from these. The feature similarities consist of the fact that both have 6 EQ presets, the ambient sound feature, the auto switch feature, a gaming mode, and the ability to find your earbuds via SmartThings Find. The other similarities, I believe this is the last one, is the fact that now on the Galaxy Buds Pro, you can actually control the volume through the Galaxy Labs portion. This was something that was not previously available before, but now it's here in a software update, and I had to re-edit this video because I went on a rant, a little rant, teeny rant, about how this feature wasn't here. So Samsung must have been listening, and yeah. As you can see here, this is the software update information. So this is the version of the software you'll need in order to actually have this functionality. And what this does is it actually frees up one of the touchpads, or if not both of the touchpads, because now you can just control the volume by tapping the top of the earbuds, and basically you can just configure the other two touchpads to whatever you want. So it's a pretty important feature, at least in my opinion. Now, when you look at the differences, things start to get a little bit more intricate. First of all, the Pros have a bigger woofer and tweeter size compared to the Plus, which allows for deeper bass and better treble. To further enhance the microphones on the Pro, Samsung has added a windshield, a voice pickup unit, and a high signal to noise ratio microphone. What this means for you is that your voice should be heard way more clearly and won't be as affected by outside elements nearly as much. Both devices have an IP rating, but as you might have guessed, the Pro's rating is much higher with a rating of IP7, which means that they can withstand things like rain, showering, and submergence up to 3 feet for 30 minutes. Now, I know all of these specs would make it seem like the Pros are better, but I'd highly advise you to hold off on that judgment. What do I mean, you ask? Well, the Plus has some very valuable qualities not found on the Pros. The first two would be the battery and the compatibility. In saying that, I mean that the Plus will definitely last you an 8-hour day and also have 3 hours to spare. The best part about this is that it achieves that 11-hour battery life without ever having to be charged before that 11-hour mark. The Plus also has the upper hand in terms of compatibility with the Galaxy Wearable app. This doesn't mean that you can't use both of the earbuds with any phone, tablet, or PC, but it does mean that if you intend to use all of the features provided with these earbuds, your device will have to meet or exceed the compatibility requirements. And this is one place where, at least for right now, the Plus wins. Getting back to the other differences, the Pros benefit from having ANC versus the noise isolation that comes with the Plus. Both devices have the ambient sound feature, but the Pros have one more level than the Plus, and it also sounds more natural on the Pros. There is also the fact that the ambient sound mode can be activated automatically by talking for a specific duration of time that can be set. The last two features are specific to the Pros. The features would be the 360 audio and the Bixby voice wake up on the Pros. Now, while the Plus doesn't have 360 audio feature nor the Bixby voice wake up, you can delegate Bixby to wake up by setting it to a press of a button within the Galaxy Wearable app. The cases for both of these earbuds are pretty similar, but the big difference is going to be that the Galaxy Buds Pro case is sort of a square circle, like a squircle, if you will, while the Galaxy Buds Plus case is a pill shape. The other difference between both of them is the fact that the Galaxy Buds Pro case is a matte finish, while the Galaxy Buds Plus case is a glossy finish. On the front of the cases, you have a LED indicator here, which will let you know when your buds are either full or charging. When they're charging, it'll be red. When they're full, it'll be green. And one of the other differences you'll notice is that on the Plus case, there is a lip there that allows you to open the case a little bit easier than it does on the Pros. Still not too much of a big deal, but something to take note of, I guess. On the bottom of both cases here, you'll see an indentation, which is where the wireless charging coil sits. You pretty much just put it right onto a wireless charger and charge it. That's literally it. So it'd be something like this. Bam, it's charging. On the back of both cases, you have a USB Type-C port for charging, and on the sides, there are just these seams here. Nothing else that's pretty important. The inside of the cases are also nothing special, but what you will see on the Buds Plus is that there is an indicator for the left and the right earbud, while on the Pros, there isn't any. You'll just expect it to know which one is the left and the right, and that's it. There is, however, an LED in both of the cases here, and that will flash between red and green to let you know when they're charging or when they're full. You'll also find the pogo pins here for charging both of these earbuds, but on the Pros, they seem to be a little bit smaller. Maybe that's probably due to the fact that they have a stronger magnetic force. What do I mean by stronger magnetic force? Well, one of the things I did find out is that the Buds Plus magnet in here that keeps the earbuds inside isn't that strong. What I mean is, if I go ahead and shake these, you'll notice that the one for the Pros doesn't go anywhere. But on the Buds Plus, the left one fell out. To reiterate, the Buds Plus here has noise isolation, which is a passive feature that's highly dependent upon how well they fit and how tight the seal provided by the ear tips is. On the Buds Pro, you're going to have ANC built in, which is a hardware feature and is supposed to be more effective than noise isolation is. To test the noise isolation versus the ANC, I decided to try something different and find the loudest place I could in my house, which actually happens to be the bathroom. There's an overhead fan in there which I measured with a sound meter, and the sound of the fan measured between 57.1 decibels to 60 decibels. For the music, I chose to find something that didn't have any words but just had a constant tone and just had some other sounds that were a little bit on the higher side. And as you might have guessed, the isolation did an okay job at blocking the sound of the fan, but ultimately I could still hear it. The ANC on the Pros actually didn't fare much better either though. I could still hear the fan, albeit at a slightly lower level than what was on the Buds Plus with the noise isolation. I know this test probably was not the most accurate, but I do hope that it will at least give you an idea of just what the ANC on the Pros does. It'll both of them I feel like will definitely do the job. It just really comes down to what kind of music you're listening to, and if it's a constant sound versus something that has a lot of space between. The ambient sound feature works well on both earbuds, but it comes off more clear on the Pros. The fact that everything from the speaker system to the microphones having an upgrade has made it so you don't have to take your earbuds out nearly as much to hear what's going on around you. This isn't to say that the feature on the Plus isn't completely usable, but if you're like me, you may find that it can make things sound more muffled, resulting in you having to take either one or both earbuds out. On the Buds Plus, you have 3 standard levels ranging from low, medium, to high. And if you scroll down and go into the Labs tab here, you can turn on extra high ambient volume. Then you'll get one more level right here. On the Buds Pro, you're going to get 4 standard levels ranging from low, medium, high, and then extra high. You can also get a 5th level by scrolling down here and going into the Advanced tab and then Hearing Enhancements and Maximize Ambient Sound Volume. Here, you won't actually see any bars or anything, but it will just state that it is maximizing the ambient sound quality. Now, to be fair, although the feature has been improved on the Pros, there may still be those times where things sound less than natural, resulting in you possibly wanting to remove the buds from your ears. This happens very rarely, and it's not something you should worry about if you do use this feature, but I do want to be transparent about that. There is also a feature where the buds will try to generate a tone against sounds that may sound harsh on your ears due to the amplification. I could actually get this to do what I'm talking about when I would be shutting a door, or there would be just some kind of sharp sound that the earbuds would try to protect my ears from. On the Pros, one of the more convenient things is that the feature can actually be activated automatically, as you just saw. Essentially, when you're talking, the earbuds will try to pick up the vibrations in your voice and turn ambient sound on automatically for a time of your choosing. You can actually go to the voice detect menu here and choose the variations here that you see for how long the ambient sound feature will stay on. In my case, I have it on for 15 seconds, so that means for 15 seconds it will stay on and then turn off. Bixby Voice Wake Up isn't on the Buds Plus, but in my opinion, it may as well not even be on the Pros either. I struggle to get it to work even in very quiet situations, and even then it just seemed like a tedious task to have to try and get it to do something as simple as controlling the volume. Now, unfortunately, the IP rating on the Galaxy Buds Plus is actually pretty low. It's only IPX2 water resistant, which means it should only be able to withstand something like sweat or maybe very, very, very tiny water splashes. I wouldn't even try getting water on these. But on the Pros, the IP level has been upped to 7, which means you should be able to submerge them for about 3 feet, 30 minutes. And that means you should be able to wear them in the rain, take a shower, whatever have you. They should just be able to withstand more water all around. So what I did here is I'm going to move these out of the way. I set up this extremely advanced water test right here. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave the earbuds in here for about a minute. So let's do that. All right, so it's a little past a minute right now, and I'm going to stop this timer, move this phone, and I'm going to take these earbuds out. All right, so you definitely always want to make sure that you dry them, of course, because you don't want water getting into your ears. No one likes that feeling. Let's go ahead and see if I can control something on my phone with them, which should indicate that they work. All right, so here is a video of my 1 week later with these buds. So let's go ahead and test it out using the right earphone. All right, now the left earbud. All right, and as you can see, they definitely work. Now, just so I'm staying true and honest to this comparison, I did end up having an issue with the right earbud. As you can see here, that's the right one, where the volume was actually a lot lower than the left one, and that was after that water test there. So what you probably are going to want to do is make sure that you blow all the water out of it, or just let them sit for a little bit, but they will work again, or they should work again. One of the most important, if not the most important aspects of any earbuds or any headphones or any apparatus you put on your head is how they fit. So that being said, I'm going to have to give the fit here strictly to the Galaxy Buds Plus. And that is in no small part due to these wingtips that come with it here. As you can see on the Pros, there are no wingtips. You're only going to get a small, a medium, and a large ear tip. And if you noticed, I have the ear tips that I've been trying for a while over here with the Galaxy Buds Pro. And what I have on them right now is this extra large tip, because that's actually the one that fits the best for me. Now, this company, diofit, actually does make some foam tips that I tried, but the problem with those is that they actually started to expand in my ear and they actually pretty much started to hurt. I know I could probably get used to it over time, but I just didn't want to take the time to do that, especially when I'm using these every single day. When you open the case for the first time, you'll be greeted with a prompt to connect the earbuds when they're close. And of course, every time after that, they'll automatically connect to the last device they were used on. Another convenient thing is that they'll connect to other Samsung devices you own, even if you haven't connected to them before. All in all, the hassle that usually comes with connecting Bluetooth audio devices has been made simple when using both of these earbuds with a Samsung or a Microsoft device. I don't have an Apple device to test connecting them, but I'd imagine it shouldn't be too hard either. Another thing you shouldn't have to worry about is the stability of the connection between the earbuds and the device you're connected to, provided that device has Bluetooth version 5.0 or higher. To give you some context as to what you're looking at right now, essentially what I did is I left my camera at my desk recording my tablet with the earbuds connected and walked out to one of the farthest points in my yard. Then what I did is I pressed play and pause, which are the same button on the earbuds anyway, and I was just trying to see exactly how far I could go until the connection for both of the earbuds cuts out. So right now you're looking at the Galaxy Buds Plus, and then you were looking at the Galaxy Buds Pro. And basically they performed admirably. I believe the Pros were 10 inches short of the Buds Plus here. And yes, of course, this is not the most accurate test out there, but this is just to give you an idea of just how far these earbuds can go. This would be great for if you're charging your phone in maybe a room and you're washing dishes. There's a lot of situations where this information I think can be helpful. I want to say that when the Galaxy Buds Plus came out, I was actually pretty impressed with the amount of sound that came through the earbuds. I was pretty pleased with just the highs, the mids, the lows, and everything. And honestly, that's probably because I was pretty ignorant and I really hadn't had any other wireless earbuds around to really test them against. But they were really my daily drivers, and in some cases, I still do miss them in a sense. But I do have to say that the Galaxy Buds Pro has definitely stepped it up in terms of the audio quality. Everything from just the highs, the mids, and the lows just sounds so much more full, especially when it comes down to the bass. It's not overpowering, but it's just enough to really, really make you feel it. And couple that with all of the other audio enhancements like the equalizer, the 360 audio, and you really do have a studio in your ears just like Samsung really wants you to have. So I would definitely say if you are going for quality, the pros are going to be it in that respect. So obviously, me just talking about the audio quality isn't going to really give you an idea of how they sound. So what I want to do right now is this very inaccurate audio test here, which is going to consist of me playing some music from my tablet to both of these earbuds. And I also want to see if I can record just how loud these earbuds can get, because that was a question that someone asked me in the comment, just how high the decibels will go. And honestly, right now, this is the best way I can think of to test this out. So let's go ahead and start with the Galaxy Buds Plus. The next test we're going to do is the microphone test because after all, you're probably going to want to talk on these things, right? So let's start off with the Galaxy Buds Plus. This is a test of the Galaxy Buds Plus microphone. Hopefully I am coming through very clear and not sounding as if I am in a cave. This is a test of the Galaxy Buds Pro microphone. Hopefully I am coming through clear and not sounding like I'm in a cave. So there you have it. Pretty much the microphones on both of these are usable. This is going to differ when you're in a public place or when you're around a lot of people anyway, but this is just, again, to give you some kind of idea. The next test I'm going to do, however, is going to be a wind test. How am I going to do a wind test, you say? Well, the only other way I can think of right now would be to get this fan right here. See, it's a fan. And let's start off with the Galaxy Buds Plus in this respect. All right, there we go. All right, so Galaxy Buds Plus. This is a simulated wind test of the microphones on the Galaxy Buds Plus. Hopefully I don't sound like I'm in a wind tunnel, and hopefully you can still hear me. All right, and now the Galaxy Buds Pro. This is a test of the microphones in wind conditions on the Galaxy Buds Pro. Hopefully you can still hear me and I don't sound like I'm in a wind tunnel. When it comes to charging, 3 minutes will give you 60 minutes of playback with the Galaxy Buds Plus, while the Pros need an extra 2 minutes for a total of 5 to get you that same 60 hours of playback. Now, the battery life for both of these is one of the factors that I feel like is going to make or break the decision for a lot of people. Some people are going to want to be able to listen to their music or talk for as long as they can, while others are going to want to be able to do the same, but with the ability to drown out as much noise as they can, while having what they're listening to come out clear and just concise as possible. If you're one of those individuals looking to just listen without having to worry about charging, then the 11 hours on the Plus is probably going to be more appealing to you. If you're looking for the best music quality and some ANC thrown in the mix, the Pros will definitely get you that good battery life for up to 5 to 8 hours, supposedly anyway. Now, to go ahead and test the battery life claims that Samsung has put out, I ran 4 tests, 1 on the Galaxy Buds Plus and 3 on the Galaxy Buds Pro. So for the first test, I listened to the Galaxy Buds Plus for about an hour and 14 minutes in total. And pretty much I didn't really feel that there was a need to go beyond this because the battery life here really didn't go down that much. And these are just going to be the battery champs. Now on the Pros, I did a little bit more of an in-depth test. And what those 3 tests I was referring to consist of is one with the active noise cancellation on low, one with the active noise cancellation on high, and one with no active noise cancellation at all. Yes, there is a ton of information here, but I just wanted to do this as in-depth as possible. After all, that's pretty much what this comparison is about anyway. So feel free to pause and just take a look at all the results here. Hopefully they'll help you, and yes, I know they're inconsistent. All right, so now let's take a look at exactly how long it would take these earbuds to charge within a 5-minute span. So I'm going to do this test 3 times, and let's actually take a look at the battery life of both of the earbuds right now before we do this. So as you can see, the Galaxy Buds Plus is on 35%, and I'm pretty sure the Pros are actually completely dead. Yep, completely dead because they would have connected by now. So let's get out of here and let's start that timer for 5 minutes and let's see how fast these things do charge. And let's see where these are in terms of battery. So right here, these are the plus, this is the pro. Let's open that case. So we're going to go ahead and do this test once again. Set that clock for 5 minutes and close these chargers. All right, so here we are at the second 5-minute interval, and let's open up these cases. So we're gonna do this test one last time. Let's close the cases here again. And then the last 5 minutes, which is going to start now. And let's stop that clock again. Stop the one on my phone because I was not in this room. Like, come on now, I'm not gonna sit here for 5 minutes and watch this thing. All right, so let's open the cases. All right, so you have the pros sitting at 45%, while the case sits at 85%. The plus is sitting at 57%, and the case is sitting at 81%. So pretty much what it looks like to me is the battery life on both of these is pretty much going to serve you pretty well. I think most people are pretty much not going to really be using these things as long as they can go for. I mean, if you can sit there with earbuds in your ear for about 8 hours a day, kudos to you because I can't. But hopefully, this gave you an idea of what's going on with the battery capacity. All right, so we went over a lot of stuff here. And what I really wanted to drive home is that it doesn't necessarily mean that the newer thing is going to be better than what's out currently. The Galaxy Buds Plus has a lot of qualities, I think, that still make it a contender, even in this day and age. And until Samsung comes out with a true successor, I don't think that it's going to be one of those things that you can kind of write off. And yeah, many people would probably say that the Galaxy Buds Pro are the successors to it, but I would still kind of beg to differ. You know, you're just not going to get the same battery life as you would on the Pros, but then on the flip side, the Pros do have that ANC for everybody that was asking, and yes, they do technically have better audio quality, but like I said, I hope I got this point across. The Galaxy Buds Plus don't sound bad. They just don't sound as full or as clear. But they're still going to sound better than a lot of earbuds out there, or most earbuds, or some earbuds. Anyway, you pretty much get where I'm getting at. But essentially, I really hope that you have learned something from this comparison. Hopefully, this will help you make a choice between both of these great earbuds. Um, and please let me know down in the comments what you think. You know, tell me the ones you go with. If you go with something completely different, doesn't matter. Just let's start the conversation around something like this. So, as always, no matter where you are in the world, have a good day or have a good night. And I hope this comparison was helpful.